the land of YouTube. What's up, YouTubies? How you guys doing today? I'm on a little bit of a drive, so I have a couple of minutes here to kind of start to chat with you guys a little bit. V Boyer, I just seen the first one popped up. V Boyer, I got my glasses on. I'm going to turn the comments off here in 1 second so that I can focus on driving and just focus on talking out loud as I drive. As you guys may or may not know, we don't stop. We don't stop. We don't stop under any circumstances, under any conditions. So if you guys would, please hit the like button. Hit the like button. Take 2 seconds right now and hit the like button. I'm going to read an email I got. What's going on, Pig Hunter? What's going on with the Playboy? What's going on with the Playboy? What's going on? So we got Pig Hunter. Do we have Jeff Hates Pigs in here as well? Shock Professor's in here. What's going on, brother? So I want to wrap a little bit here. I want to read you guys this email that I got. What's going on? What's going on with the Playboys? I mean, I'll tell you what. So just so you guys know, I told you guys I was starting a new project in November. It looks like it's December now. But I've actually knocked down the wall, put in the changes that I need done in the studio. A couple people here. If you guys, hey, if any of the moderators who I'm friends with, if you add me on Signal, I'll send you guys over some videos of what I'm doing right now. But we gotta be friends. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Okay. So, I want to send you guys some videos, but I've got to be, I mean, this is a super secret. Nobody can know it. Nobody can know. It's a big secret. It's a great big secret. And you're in on it. Eric, what's going on, brother? Make sure you guys, if you're on my Signal and you're my friend, send me a DM on Signal. If you're my moderator and my buddy, and there's a few buddies and a few moderators in here that I stay in touch with quite a bit, make sure you send me a message on Signal because I want to send you guys this video. Oh my God. Listen, you know, I got a friend in here. I'm not going to say who it is, but we've been talking, and this person has seen the amount of work that I've done in the past 3 days. Matter of fact, yesterday I worked for 20 hours straight. 20 hours straight, nonstop. 20 hours straight. Because I got to get this studio done, and I'm working my booty off to get it done. Hey, board game's going great. Board game is going great. QD, I saw that. So that's a super dunce cap. A QD is a super dunce cap. Super dunce cap. I'll tell you what, you know, I'm feeling good. So a couple things happen in the next 48 hours. Jesse, good to see you. Nice to see you, Jesse. I'm glad I've got to know you a little bit over the DMs on Instagram. I appreciate that. I appreciate you sharing. I know it. If I could just say it out loud right here, then my secrets would be completely safe. Completely safe. No, listen, I tell you, what I'm creating right now with the help of a couple people in this room now and somebody who's not in this room right now, what I'm creating right now is a group effort. There's lots of people helping me. There really is. There's people helping me constantly. I mean, constantly I'm getting help from people. And the couple people in this room are right along. I mean, I'll tell you. And when my buddy gets back, I'll tell you what, you son of a gun. I tell you what. I feel good. And then also, I'm done getting fat. I'm as fat as I'm going to be. So I'm going to lose this weight. I'm going to teach intermittent fasting. It's finally here. The studio, just so you guys know, the studio is now almost complete. Like, I have been working. You have no idea. You have no idea how much effort I have put in over the past. And by the way, people here who there's a few people in here who know. There's a few people in here who know exactly what I'm doing. There's a few people. There's 2 or 3. And when you see it coming to, it's one thing to say something, right? It's one thing to say, oh, I'm going to do this, or oh, I'm going to do that. No. It's another thing to motherfucking do it. Hold on a second. Let me check my sound. My sound must have been absolutely terrible the whole time. Someone give me a 5x5 if the sound's a little bit better. Give me a 5x5 if the sound's a little bit better. I'm so sorry. Let me shut these doors and windows as well. There, now you're gonna be able to hear me. Dan, what's going on, my brother? What is going on? So I've got 6 miles this way, and then I'm gonna turn. So, 5 by 5, 5 by 5. You guys don't understand, right? So there is a drive inside of me that I cannot deny. There is a drive inside of me that I can't turn off. I can't deal with it. So Saturday night last night, right? Saturday night, how many people last night did something fun? Put a 1 in the chat if you did something fun last night on Saturday night, or if you just sat around and watched your favorite TV show. Put a 1 in the chat if you just had a good time last night on Saturday night. Just put a 1 in the chat. You got drunk? Someone got drunk? Deanna's in the room. Gloria's in the room. Chevy! Greg, what's going on, brother? Mikey, I saw Mikey earlier. Fair Lady. Alpha Overseer. Eric, good to see you. Put a 1 in the chat if you watched your shows, or you went to the movies, or maybe you got some whoopee time, they used to call that in the 80s. Whoopee. They used to call it whoopee. Did you get whoopied last night? Did anybody get whoopied? Did anybody have whoopee last night? Because I didn't have any whoopee. It would have been solo mente, and I had none. Oh, UFC fights last night? I didn't watch them. So let me tell you something. I started yesterday at I want to say noon. I started at noon yesterday, and I didn't stop until last night at 5 o'clock in the morning. I went from noon until 5 a.m. nonstop. I'm talking nonstop because I had to get it done, So let's jump into a little bit. Anybody from Ironton in the room? Can you put a 1 if you're from Ironton real quick? Because I want to talk about this because it's just got my blood boiling. You know what I'm saying? It's got my blood boiling. I'm just boiling on this. I'm just boiling on it. I'm just like how sometimes you get hot and then the how sometimes you get hot and then the crack of the crack of your behind, you'll get like a sweat spot in your butt. That's how fired up I am about this. That's how fired up I am about this. I got this email today, and I read it, and as soon as I woke up, like last night I was on a mission to finish the studio, which I'm 90% done with that now. And so I got an email though, and let me read it. I'm going to hide the name because I don't want people to out this person. This person is from Ironton, Ohio. Put a 1 in the chat if you're from Ironton, okay? Good to see you, Michael. Thanks for coming by. So I'm gonna show you guys something, and this is gonna, if this doesn't jaw drop you, if you don't hear these words and you're like, oh my God, the Ironton hierarchy, the Ironton government is openly cheating, lying, stealing, drug dealing, pimping. They're openly just cheating the people of Ironton. And it's just mind-boggling to me. I'm talking mind-boggling. I don't think I am way out in the middle of, remember, I had to set things up. I'm way out in the middle of nowhere, East Coast time. So we're on East Coast time now. Remember that, guys. We are on East Coast time. I'm not on West Coast time anymore. I'm now East Coast time. So just put a note so you know. Oh, man, 28 bullets, huh, in one man's skull. Well, let me read this letter because I'm going to pop in and out of existence. And before I lose you guys, I want to read this to you guys. And by the way, I know who sent me this email. I know who sent me the email, but I'm not going to say their name out loud. I recognized the email right away as soon as they sent me the email. So we are on Eastern time now. We're no longer on West Coast time. So Chille. Here's the email, and just so you guys know that I'm not just BSing you here. Here's the email. It came in from the contact word inquiry. Okay, sorry about that. So let me read you the email, and then you guys can go ahead and be the judges. Chille, there's something really effed up with the mayor situation in Ironton. Sam Cramblett. Oh, so, and then someone just put on here, I have 2 warrants. I do not have a warrant out of Oregon, Ohio. Stop it. A bunch of dunce caps. There has to be probable cause to put an arrest warrant out for someone. I've already called Oregon, Ohio. There's no warrant for my arrest in Oregon, Ohio. That is not true. That is not true. What would be the probable cause? What would be the probable cause to issue a warrant for a man's arrest? He sent a text message to someone that didn't like it. Like, that's where we are. Okay, so let me read this to you guys so you guys can I just want to make sure that it says, there's something really effed up going on with the mayor situation in Ironton. The charges for the DUI, they call it an OVI, were dropped because the body cam footage showed he wasn't intoxicated. What the f are you talking about? Deborah Rogers' body cam footage showed that she wasn't intoxicated. But they dropped it. They dropped it because the body cam footage, he was drunk on the body cam footage. He was slurring his speech on the body cam footage. The people of Ironton need to understand your government, your hierarchy. Chris Perry, he got arrested for using his girlfriend's credit card. Spooljarek, what about his drug charges? Are they gonna just disappear as well? Are they gonna get diminished down to nothing? Remember guys, I was prosecuted and persecuted, charged with 5 felonies for this much GHB, which by the way, Bret Hart's son, just did a video the other day that said everybody in the 90s did GHB. You bought it at the health nutrition store, which is where I bought it. I bought it from GNC. And then when GNC stopped selling it, I bought it from a distributor over in Canada. And oh Lord, that was worth charging me with 5 felonies. Eventually they got me down to this much and I got a diversion program that cost me 1.5 years of my life. But now you can look at Sam Cramblett's body cam footage and say, charges are dropped. Sam, you're a dirty pig. You know that? You're a piece of shit, Sam Cramblett. You are a piece of shit. You are a gigantic piece of flaming dog shit, Sam Cramblett. Bradley Spooljarek, you belong in prison. When I came to Ironton, I said, who's doing the drug dealing? Who's doing the pimping? The cops are. And then we find out they are. They got that hooker hotel out there. Boiling. The moment I read it, the moment I read this email, and I know who this is from. I know who this is from. Hopefully they come to their senses and give me a call so we can actually work on something productive together. But, you know, you don't get to abuse me and then have me help you. Sorry. It's not how it works, kid. You know, you and I've done nothing but give. So whatever. Anyway, but let me read this email. I'm going to read it in entirety without stopping because I can't look down at the camera. Chille, there's something really effed up going on with the mayor situation. The charges for the DUI were dropped because the body cam footage said he wasn't intoxicated. I've lived here my whole life, and this mayor has been put through a bunch of shit since he was in office. He won 70% of the vote, and it still went to the Supreme Court because opponents tried to get him thrown out. The mayor's a piece of dog shit. The mayor is a piece of dog shit. I mean, what are you talking about? If people in Ironton are voting for Sam Cramblett, you are seriously, seriously lost. I mean, you are lost. There are 3 videos that are all longer. I have evidence of an officer lying in court documents, and even a judge wrote that this officer was lying. Of course, the cops are lying scumbags. I mean, what are you talking about? The cops are lying scumbags. Cops in America are lying scumbags. Time and time and time again, we know the cops in America. You know, I asked a cop the other day, have you ever lied on a report? He said, no. I said, you're lying. You're lying. You're absolutely lying. Hang on, let me take this jacket off. I'm sweating. Hold on, Charlie. I was fired. Listen, it took me 20 minutes to make that damn thumbnail. Charlie Little Bear, he's just a little bear. What's a little bear doing, huh, Charlie? So it's just insane to me that Christy, the best ever, Roan is in the room. So I was gonna wait and do a live with Christy. So Christy, how far along are you? You're about to pop, right? Let's get over there, Charlie. I can't have you on my lap right now. I can't have you on my lap right now. Okay, I'll bring you on in a second. So this is gonna be 66 miles straight on this road, straight ahead. Hey, you know, by the way, guys, listen. You know, I unblock people every day. I unblock people all the time. So, you know, the moderators are giving you guys a chance. If you want to be a piece of shit, you're gonna get blocked. I'm just all there is to it. 3 more days. Here, let me add you. There you go, Christy. So Christy, if you want, Christy, I don't know, I'm a little nervous to call you and get you on the phone because I'm so in the middle of nowhere that I don't think the phone's this is gonna cut out in a minute, you guys. This phone will cut out. It's almost 100%. It's almost 100% that this phone's gonna cut out, really. So be aware of that this phone's probably gonna cut out. Just Chevy's in the room. What's going on, Chevy? How you guys doing? Cope Dog, 3 more days. Christy, I added you as a moderator. If you wanna, what I asked Christy, it's gonna cut out, you guys. Christy, drop your Amazon wish list in here. Put it in. Drop your Amazon wish list in here. She has 3 days left till that baby girl comes out. 3 days left. I've already given her my input, what I think the name should be. She dropped it down to 2 different names. Christy, you're more than welcome to put the 2 different names that you have. I don't know if I'm in or out, you guys. I'm sorry. I know for a fact this live. Christy, if you could drop that Amazon wish list in there. Overturn Terry versus Ohio. God bless you. Christy, if you could drop your Amazon wish list, that would be. Alan Hubbs is in the room. Good to see you, Alan. I know it is. I'm in the middle of nowhere, you guys. I'm way out in the middle of nowhere. I'm talking way out in the middle of nowhere. So I'm going to repeat myself 4 or 5 times here because I want to make sure that everybody knows this. Christy, I asked Christy Roan if she would please put together her Amazon wish list for the can you put that, there it is, a Ray of Sunshine or Juniper Ray. Now I am partial to a Ray of Sunshine, but those are the 2 names. So put a 1 in the chat if you think the baby should be named a Ray of Sunshine. Put a 2 in the chat if you think the baby should be named Juniper Ray. And then she put them in there right there. Christy, drop that Amazon wish list in the comments here. Drop the Amazon wish, hit the like button. Thank you for the super chat. I didn't see it come in, but God bless you. So number 1 is a Ray of Sunshine. Number 2 is Juniper Ray. Now I'm for number 1. I'm sure other people are going to go for number 2, but I don't care. I like a Ray of Sunshine because it's almost like, you know, coming looking down from the sun. You know, I'm just, you know what I'm saying. So looks like most people like Juniper though. It looks like most people like Juniper. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like to me. Oh, but Greg likes a Ray of Sunshine. I like a Ray of Sunshine too. But Juniper is so. She put them in the chat, Shanta. She put them in the chat. I like Juniper is good. A lot of people like Juniper. Christy, you were right. A lot of Press with Rancor. What's going on, Press? How you doing? We're gonna talk on the phone again tomorrow, Press. I'm gonna give you a call. You know, Alan, when I was talking earlier. And I was talking about hey, Press with Rancor. There's the Amazon wish list, guys. I asked her to put this together. I asked her to specifically about 4 days ago. I said, please go on Amazon and put together a wish list for what you need. Justice Berserker is here. That's Deborah. So if you guys want to, her Amazon wish list is in the comments. Send that to me, Christy, and I will put it in the description of this video right here. What's going on, Jeff hates pigs? Smile, Kyle. Jeff hates pigs. Jeff hates pigs. Jeff hates pigs. It's funny because, you know, deep down in places people don't talk about, I don't give a flying what you think. I don't. Doesn't matter who you are either. I don't care. I'm on a mission from God, and I'm not gonna stop. There's nothing anybody can say to me, about me, speak for me, speak against me. There's nothing you can say that will deter me. Oh, it's not detour, it's deter. Oh gosh. Did you make a spelling error? Did you make a spelling error? He made a spelling error. He said detour instead of deter. He said detour. Oh, he's discredited. He's discredited. He's a bad guy. He used the wrong spelling. Oh my God. Oh my God. You know what? Cancel him. Cancel that man. He said deter. He did not say deter. He said detour. What? Oh. How dare you have a typo? How dare you use the wrong word? And then, you know, as we proceed forward over the next few months, you guys are going to see some stuff. I'm going to teach all of you what a constitutional law scholar is. And that's the name of the new channel, Constitutional Law Scholar. So I want everybody else to understand When I say I'm a constitutional law scholar, I want you guys to know what I'm saying when I say that. I want you to be able to, matter of fact, I'm going to make t-shirts that say constitutional law scholar, because I want you guys to be constitutional law scholars. I want you to understand the difference between rule of law and tyranny. When earlier on this platform on YouTube in May or June, right, I had a bunch of auditors call me a statist. I'm a statist? Okay. So all the auditors who said that, I'm going to teach you what a constitutional law scholar is. I'm going to teach you exactly what rule of law means, and it does not mean statism. You're a giant dunce cap if you think that. If you think rule of law means big government and statism, you're dead fucking wrong. I can't help it. I can't help it. If you are dull or dumb, I can't help you. But what I can do is, if you're not dull and you're not dumb, because you can't fix stupid, I'll teach you what a constitutional law scholar actually is. I'll teach you step by step, frame by frame, case by case, elements and people in history that you can then say, I'm a constitutional law scholar. I learned it from Chille, and I'm going to teach it to you. So, and nothing's going to deter that. Nothing's going to slow that down. The only thing that's going to slow that down is me, if I don't get it done fast enough. And I've worked for 3 days straight, 20 hours a day, and now the studio is 90% done. I'm going to teach everybody what a constitutional law scholar is. And you'll be able to say, after you watch these videos, I'm a constitutional law scholar. I'm literally going to teach you that you will be able to say out loud, I am a constitutional law scholar. I learned it from Delete Lawz. But it'll be on it'll be on a new channel, because I can't stand this. I can't stand this. I can't stand this. I can't stand it. I can't stand this bullshit system of oppression and tyranny and no rule of law. I'm telling you, this is all going to be education. That's why, you know, I don't have time for you. I don't have time to respond to you. If you guys haven't noticed the last couple of days in the comments, I'm not replying to any comments. I'm too busy. I'm too busy setting up to teach people how to be able to wear a t-shirt that says Constitutional Law Scholar on it. I'm too busy because I'm on a mission, and you're not. You're ready for me to drop another video so you can take a clip of it and make fun of me so you have a brand, but you don't have a brand. That's the truth. Other people here are looking to learn something new, looking to learn how our country went from the beacon of freedom in 1774, 1776, 1783, to where we are now, where it's a tyrannical police state, where Sam Cramblick can get caught on camera and he's drunk as hell, and they say the body cam footage showed that he wasn't drunk. He was slurring his speech on the body cam footage. It makes me mad. Bradley Spulgeric got caught with 28 grams of drugs, 20 grams of meth, 8 grams of fentanyl. What's going to happen with Bradley? Chris Perry was charged with using his girlfriend's credit card without permission, so he committed fraud or grand larceny. Is he going to get charged properly? Would you be charged? You would be charged to the hilt. Matter of fact, as soon as Bradley Spulgeric was arrested for all those drugs he was, just storing for the drug dealer, then immediately they prosecuted April's ex-husband, April, the girl in Ironton. I don't know her, but a woman named April. They prosecuted her ex-husband immediately upon Bradley Spulgeric being arrested. Immediately ran him into the dungeon. That's what's going on in our country because there's no rule of law. When I say constitutional law scholar, you should be able to say, I'm a constitutional law scholar because Chille taught me. And I swear to God, I'm going to teach you guys what I mean when I say constitutional law scholar over the next 3 months, every single day. Every day, 30 minutes a day, every day, I'm going to teach you guys. I promise you. When you're done with this next channel that I'm starting at right now, you will be able to say, I learned and I know what a constitutional law scholar is. Because it's not simple. You have to really have a deeper understanding of the Enlightenment era, of the beginning foundation of America, of the role that France played, the role that England played, the role that the First Continental Congress played, and who was involved in that First Continental Congress, and why did we start the First Continental Congress, and what was the exact essence of the feelings of freedom in 1774. So just so you guys know, everybody says when I say what happened in 1776, oh, we got the Declaration of Independence. We were already in war. The war had began with the Boston Tea Party. So that was the beginning of the war. Really. And so when you say 1774, 1775, we're breaking away from England. So what are we doing when we break away from England specifically? What is the culture? What is the essence? What is the feeling in the new America? What's going on in the country? Well, let me tell you what's going on. The founding fathers, you're talking about Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, you're talking about Thomas Paine. These guys, they're sitting around and they're going, natural law. And you're going, what do you mean natural law? Natural law comes from John Locke's 2 Treaties of Government written in 1690. So the founding fathers in 1774, I believe Thomas Paine writes Common Sense in 1775, or was it 1763? He wrote Common Sense in 1763. So when Thomas Paine writes Common Sense in 1763, what he's essentially saying is that we have to break away from England, and then he gets the same pushback that I get. 1/3 of America does not want to break away from England, and they are actively fighting against freedom fighters within our own country. It's not yet a country. The point is this, though. So then around 1774, 1775, you have to win the populace. For us to go into a revolutionary war against England, you have to win over the populace. Because remember, you still have 1/3 of people who are like, no, I don't want to break away from England. So how does that happen? Well, the founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, Patrick Henry, all these guys, what they're talking about with the public, and how are they talking with people through the public? Through the free press. Does it sound familiar? Does it sound familiar? Huh? How do you reach the public? Through the press. You guys have heard of this term called a First Amendment auditor. Through the free press, you are seeing our corrupt government through guys like me who go out with a camera and film these filthy pigs who are not living by rule of law. So in 1774, 1775, what Jefferson is saying to people, what James Madison are saying to people, what Thomas Paine is saying to people is natural law, guys. We have a right to life, liberty, and property. Well, where does that come from? That comes from John Locke, born in 1632, dies in 1704. So the people are chanting natural law, we have a right to life, liberty, and property. Well, then when people are talking about natural law, that they're saying we have a right, we shouldn't be taxed here on our property and give our money to another country halfway around the world. So they start to win over the populace by explaining to the populace that you have a right to own property here. You don't have to buy the property from the King of England. You can get it right here. So this is how they win over the people, using John Locke's philosophy of natural law. What is the foundation of American government today? Natural law. The exact same Enlightenment thinker, John Locke, who's going to write 2 Treaties of Government in 1690, he actually writes it in 1684, sits on it for 5 years, writes Essays in Understanding Humanity, publishes in 1689, and then releases the second book, 2 Treaties of Government, in 1690, because he knew that if he did not teach the people Essays in Understanding Humanity, that they would never understand 2 Treaties of Government. He was so much smarter than you and me, it's not even remotely close. And all the people out there, I was as smart as John Locke. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. You're a dunce cap, and so am I, compared to John Locke, compared to Rousseau. Well, Rousseau was a bit of a maverick, but especially Montesquieu, Charles de Montesquieu, Thomas Hobbes. You're not as smart as Thomas Hobbes. I'm sorry, you're not. You can't even get through Leviathan without a tutor. And if you can, tutor me, brother. I'm ready to learn. So, now, if you don't understand what natural law means, that you have the right to life, liberty, and property, someone said the other day, so you have this case called Houston versus Hill in 1987. Houston versus Hill says that you can say whatever you want to a government official and there's nothing they can do about it. And of course, if you use fighting words, and that's going to be the 1943 case of Chaplinsky versus New Hampshire, where they set out these specific words. So don't let me get ahead. So in 1987, you have a case called Houston versus Hill, and I've said this on my broadcast. It's my right to interrupt you, copper. It's my right to do so. My God-given right to interrupt you when you're doing something in your official capacity. And people say, how do you figure it's your right to walk up to cops when they're doing a traffic stop and interject yourself and interrupt them, right? It's your right. It's your God-given right. I stopped the other day on the side of the road. I filmed those dirty pigs, and I said, it's my God-given right to stop on this road. And people said, oh, why is it your God-given right to stop on a highway? Why is it your God-given right to interrupt cops? Let me explain it clearly. I just told you about natural law, life, liberty, property. How do we break away from England? By invoking natural law. Hey, you have a right to your property. You shouldn't have to pay England for it. You have a right to life. England shouldn't come here and kill 5 settlers because of the Boston Tea Party, Sons of Liberty. They dressed up as British agents, and they went in and they threw the tea over. And that's going to be 1773. It's going to be 300 cases of tea. So then they're preaching natural law, life, liberty, property. So what is liberty? What is liberty? Liberty is your First Amendment and your Fourth Amendment right. So when I say what is liberty, well, what's in your First Amendment right? Religion, assembly, petition, press, speech. So that means you have a God-given right to speech. Does that right come from the federal government? No, it does not. The federal government says, hey, we recognize John Locke and John Locke's divine morality. That's another topic. I'll get into that in a second. But let's just focus right now on natural law. You have a God-given right to liberty. So what are those liberties that the government is going to recognize that John Locke so eloquently pointed out in 2 Treatises of Government in 1690 and Essays on Understanding Humanity in 1689? What is it that gives you the liberty? God gives you the liberty to speak. God gives you the liberty to be pressed. God gives you the liberty to petition the government that you have God-given rights. I don't give a shit if you're an atheist or not. These are the facts. Our country is based on John Locke's philosophy of divine morality, that your body doesn't even belong to you. Take the biggest prick there is, which I know a bunch of them, right? Take the biggest loser, prick, authoritarian there is. Now, people would say, you could deal with this guy on a physical level. No, you can't. Because according to John Locke's divine morality, your body is a carcass that that's yours, but the soul spirit inside of you belongs to God. I don't care. Listen, I was a hardcore atheist for 20 years. I'm telling you the foundation of America. I don't care if you agree with it or not. You don't know it. Or you'd have a channel with 50,000 people listening to you, but you don't. Because you don't know what I'm talking about. You just dismiss it because you're a dunce cap. If you're not stupid, I can help you. If you're dumb, I can't help you. So the settlers break away. The founding fathers are able to convince the populace to break away from England using natural law. Okay, so now when you invoke natural law, you're invoking what? Your God-given rights. That everybody around the planet, with the Enlightenment thinkers, Locke and Rousseau, they're starting to realize we all have these rights. You know, we all have the right to liberty, to speak. That's why when a cop tells you to shut up on the side of the street, you say, F you and your dog, I don't have to shut up. So then, now let's fast forward. Remember I talked about Houston versus Hill? Tom Robertson, you're wrong. You're not even close to right, Tom. Sorry. The entire foundation of America is based on natural law, Mr. Robertson. Don't unhide him. Unhide Tom Robertson. Don't hide him. He disagrees, but he didn't say anything dickish. He just said he's wrong, but I don't want him blocked because he's wrong. I want to help him. So Tom Robertson, you're incorrect in your data. You might want to take a look at go back and just put in the foundation of America, 1774, 1775. So our country is based on natural law, whether I like it or not. Whether you like it or not. And so then you say, okay, now let me keep going. Sorry for the interruption. But don't block Tom. Make sure he's not blocked. I want him to be able to say his opinion here. So So now what does that mean? Why are we so hot to trot over natural law? Well, because what natural law does is it circumvents the government. It goes around the government and says, you can either recognize these rights or we can have a revolution right here, right now. And so the government, and this is England, by the way, we tell them we have natural rights and you're either gonna respect them or we're gonna go to war. And that's exactly what we do. And so then after we go to war, our Constitution is based on 3 different Enlightenment thinkers. It's based on John Locke, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and Montesquieu, Spirit of Laws, which is checks and balances, the 3 branches of government. So what happens? What happens? What happens is when you invoke natural law, that gives you a right. I know the guy's a total troll. So I know. Thanks, I get it. He's not going to be nice. He's going to say something dickish in a second, so you have to just kick him out of the room. I'll unblock you, dude. Maybe someday you'll come in the room and you won't be a dick. But anyway, so what does that do exactly? So our country's based on natural law. That means that everything that the Constitution is about is based on your right to life, liberty, and property. Everything. This is why Kyle Rittenhouse wasn't guilty of murder, because when we suspended the social contract, we fall back to natural law. You don't have to like Rittenhouse, but you do have to like America, or you can F off. So now what happens next? So now as we proceed down the road, we know that we've overthrown the power that England had over us. We declared independence, and about 1783, that war ends with the Treaty of Paris. And then by 1793, we have implemented both the Constitution and the Bill of Rights into our documentation. So now everything in our Constitution is going to be based on natural law. That's why you're incorrect, Mr. Robertson, because you're just so dead wrong. It's not even, I mean, I've studied this my whole life. So now everything that we recognize as our rights is established in the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. So then when you go forward in time, now who are the arbitrators of what our rights are? It's the Supreme Court, an unelected body of mostly white supremacy throughout the history of America. It's pretty disgusting. However, the sun shines on a dog's ass once in a while, and the Supreme Court gets it right once in a while, as they have been lately, to be honest, which is really weird to say because they did overturn Roe versus Wade, which is just disgusting. So now, when I move forward into Techline versus Danforth the other day, when I said to that copper, I have a right to stop here. It is my natural right to be able to travel. And a bunch of people said, it's not your right to drive. It's not your right to travel. I said, it is my God-given right. So where does my God-given right to travel come from? From John Locke's natural law that is recognized by the federal government, our government, in 1793 with the Bill of Rights. We actually write in the tenets and principles of natural law in 1793 in the Bill of Rights. So when I invoke Techline versus Danforth and I pull over on the side of the road and I tell the cop, I have a right to be here. I have a right to film you. You cannot take away my right to stop, because if you take away my right to stop, you take away my liberty. And this is written by Virgil Griffith on the Mississippi Supreme Court. My right to stop is my right to have liberty. It's my God-given right to have liberty that John Locke wrote in his 2 books for us to understand. If you haven't read Essays in Understanding Humanity, well, then we don't know the same information, do we? You could call me arrogant, pompous. Did you do the reading, though? Because if you don't understand Essays in Understanding Humanity, well, then you don't understand what I'm talking about, because you didn't do the reading. I hate to have read these things. I hate that I actually read it. I hate that I actually learned it, and I'm teaching it to you. The truth is, though, you have God-given rights that you're born with that were first recognized by John Locke, that God gave you these rights, and then our government, the federal government, they recognized the rights that John Locke had written and writ those rights that were God-given into the Constitution, that the American government doesn't give you these rights. These are God-given rights. These are natural law rights. So when I pull over on the side of the road, it's my liberty to travel, John Locke. It's my liberty to stop, John Locke. when the cop is on the side of the road and I interrupt him, Houston versus Hill, 1987, it's my right to speak. So that's my liberty to speak. John Locke, Essays in Understanding Humanity, Two Treaties of Government, 1689, 1690. So that means when the cop's on the side of the road and he's talking to someone and I say, no, I have every right to interrupt you, copper. That comes from John Locke's natural law, recognizing the God-given rights that you're born with from God. And I don't give a shit if you're an atheist or you don't have a high power. I don't care. I don't care. Because the foundation of America was based upon your right to be a free being based on that your soul belongs to God, John Locke's divine morality. If you can't define John Locke's divine morality right here in the comment section, then we have different information, you and me. Don't be mad at me. Don't be angry. Over the next 3 months, not only am I going to teach you guys this with visuals, I'm going to teach it to you in a way that you can then get the board game and play the game at home. And let me just inform you guys real quick. It's not easy. The game I devised is hard. The game I devised, it's not hard. It just requires that you research and you learn. I don't know, Curious Chaos. Maybe you participate in troll channels and they just don't want to have to block you later. And so they put you in timeout. I'm going to guess, hey, moderators, do me a favor. Give some of these trolls a chance to come over to the light because they're starting to see that I don't have any victims. They're starting to see that I really haven't done anything wrong to anybody. So hopefully they're starting to come over and they're starting to learn. But if not, just kick them off. I don't care. I don't give a shit. YouTube is not a free speech platform. YouTube is a membership platform. Oh, I'm sure, Mary. I filed a lawsuit against YouTube yesterday. So the lawsuit's in the mail. They're going to get it Monday or Tuesday. So now right here, right? The information I just gave you guys a little piece of becoming a constitutional law scholar. Because you don't have to be Einstein to go, okay, so this cop just told me to do that. What are my natural rights? I have a natural liberty to religion. And what did we see over the pandemic? We saw that they said Jewish people couldn't congregate in groups of 10 to do their prayers. So you're blocking my natural right to my religion. And if you guys don't know, I've done quite a few videos. I produced quite a few videos with a Jewish group on the Talmud. And so the Jewish religion often requires multiple people in the same room to even do their prayer ceremony. And so what happened in upstate New York over the pandemic was they told those Jewish folks, you can't get together in groups of 10 and do your religion, even though it's required that you have 10 people in the room to do certain religious prayers in the Talmud. So the Jewish people said, F you, and then there was a great big internal war up there in upstate New York. And so what are the Jewish people saying when they said, hey, we have a right to practice our religion here. You don't have a right to take it away from us. They are saying John Locke's principles of natural law give me the liberty to do my religion as I see best fit. So they weren't invoking constitutional rights when they said we have a right to get together. No. They were invoking their natural rights given by God. No, you don't have to be a religious person. That's a foundation of the Enlightenment thinkers that created the basis of the Constitution. The basis of the Bill of Rights is based on God's divine morality for your soul. I don't give a shit if you like it or not. That's a fact. You know this because when Kyle Rittenhouse killed 2 people, the government created a yellow tape line and said, over here is Jean-Jacques Rousseau's social contract and natural law. Over here, there is no social contract, there is no rule of law, but there's still natural law. So that's why when they prosecuted Rittenhouse, constitutional law scholars like myself said, what are you doing? What are you doing? You may not like Rittenhouse. I don't know if I like him. I follow him on Twitter. I read his tweets. It seems like he's lost right now. He's going through a lot of stuff. You don't have to like him. You don't have to like me, but you can learn something. So when Rittenhouse, when the rule of law, the social contract was suspended over here, and the cops, they got together over here and said, we have the social contract over here, we have the rule of law over here, but not on this side. When you strip away the social contract over the top of natural law, you no longer have rule of law. It falls back to three basic principles: life, liberty, property. When you attack another person with a brick or go chasing them to try to take their head off, that means I have a right to blow you away. Plain and simple. For example, if you come to me in a violent way with a weapon, there's a good chance that I'll have to use my natural law to eliminate the threat. It's just the way it is. Once you violate the rule of law and try to attack another person, it falls back to natural law. I stick up for him because I stick up for the Constitution. I stick up for the Bill of Rights. I stick up for your natural rights given to you by what John Locke recognized as God. So now you know. Now you know. When you say Houston versus Hill, you know, when I say, when a cop has someone pulled over and the cop says, hey, you're interrupting my traffic stop, and I say, it's my God-given right to interrupt you, because without my ability to speak, I wouldn't have natural law. So we would have no Constitution. There would be no Constitution. It would be null and void and moot, because if you can't speak out loud, well then, for the love of God, what can you do? If you can't interrupt a cop that has someone pulled over, well then you don't have the right to speak. And so that would violate your natural law, your natural rights. If you can't speak, then you don't have God-given rights. If there's no God-given rights, then the Constitution is toilet paper, because our entire Constitution is based on natural law. Sorry, Mr. Robertson, you're incorrect. 35 minutes. I'm 35 minutes away from my destination. 35 minutes away. Christy Roan, if Christy's in the room, make sure she drops. I'm going to call. You know what? We're going to do a live. Christy, I want to do a live for you either tonight or tomorrow. Christy Roan, someone can send her a message on Facebook if she's not here anymore. No, let Tom speak. He doesn't have to shut up. Let him speak. As long as he's not personally attacking me, then I have no problem with anybody. If they disagree with my opinion, let's have it out. If you want to attack me personally, call me names, stupid shit, you have a dumb username that's insulting me, just get the fuck out of my room, brother, and don't come back. Doesn't matter to me. I don't care. So now you guys know, when I say that I have a right to stop on the side of the road, it's my inherent right. Go back to what Virgil Griffith wrote. Virgil Griffith, Mississippi Supreme Court. He wrote back in 1942, I believe it was, in Tech Lines versus Danforth. Was it 42 or 43? Because I get them confused. Chaplinsky versus New Hampshire's in 43, and then Tech Lines versus Danforth Incorporated is in 42, I believe. So, I don't know who Anthony is, but if you guys could. So as you guys can see, let me just stay focused. So when I pull over on the side of the road and I tell a cop I have a right to stop here, Virgil Griffith wrote in his interpretation of what natural rights are, 43, thank you, Chevy, I appreciate that. So it was 43, then Chaplinsky versus New Hampshire is 1942. So what Virgil Griffith wrote in 43, being the constitutional law scholar that he was, and had far more knowledge than I do, I believe Virgil was way ahead of where this dunce cap right here is. So Virgil wrote that if you don't have a right to stop, then you don't have a right to travel. If you don't have a right to travel, then you don't have any liberty. If you don't have any liberty, that violates the tenets, the pillars of the Constitution. So if you don't have any liberty, then that violates the tenets, the pillars of natural law. So Virgil Griffith wrote, you have a right to stop wherever you want, wherever it's safe. And when you pull in front of a cop and he's got his lights on, another car there, I'm in a safe place. And if I'm not, then cops shouldn't be able to pull people over on the side of the freeway. I'm more than willing to go to jail and fight that and take it all the way up to where it needs to go. I will not be stopped by some pig who doesn't understand the Constitution or natural law. I will stop on the side of the road any place I damn well please, as long as I'm not putting anyone else in danger. Hey, it might be a shocker to a lot of you guys in here, but I really like Tom Robertson. I really like him. I mean, I like the guy. I've talked to him a little bit on email. I like Tom. Tom, you're wrong on this one. Tell you what, Tom, you got my email address. Show me how you're correct and I'm wrong. Teach me, Mr. Robertson. Teach me. Teach me. Teach me what I don't know, because I've been studying this stuff for a long time, man. I'm putting it together for you. And Tom, I'm putting it for you together in little pieces here. I gave it to you in little chunks so far, haven't I? I mean, it's pretty clear. It's pretty clear. I mean, you're going to get beat up in my room, Tom, but I'm not going to kick you out for differences of opinions. You know, anybody who could come in here and can disagree with me. So, you know, so actually another troll asked an important question just now. Who decides who's in danger and who's not? Well, let me make it clear. Terry versus Ohio in 1968 allows cops to say that they feel like they're in danger by looking at you. Just by looking at you, and by the way, it's based on racism, so you can look at a black guy and that N-er over there, he's dangerous. I have the right to run up and grab him. And that's created in 1968. So to answer the question, yes, the diet plan comes out this next week. I'm fine. I'm so fat. I can't wait to get this weight off. It's so terrible. I feel awful every day. But so where was I though before I got, okay, so in 68, thank you, Chevy. In 68, someone asked who decides who's in danger and who's not. That's why Terry versus Ohio is against natural law. If you have the right to run up and grab me using Terry versus Ohio to check me for weapons because you're scared little bitch, then I don't have any right to be free. Because anybody at any time can say, I'm scared of Chille, I want to run up and grab him. And they have a right to do it because of the racist Supreme Court. You don't have to like it. It's the truth. You don't got to endorse. It's the truth. You don't got, no, it's the truth. And I'll take my finger and I'll put it right in your chest and say, I don't give a shit what you think. The truth is the truth, and you cannot ever sway me from the truth. I don't care if you like me, hate me. I don't care if you talk bad about me. I don't give a shit what you say. I will say the truth at any time because I don't care. I don't care if you don't like it. That's what leadership is. When you don't care that other people are going to dislike what you're doing and you say, I don't care if you don't like it. Leadership requires sometimes a spoonful of sugar to help the medicine go down. So I try to give it, but I'm pretty hardcore, man. I'm pretty hardcore. So in 68, when they say cops have the right to run up and grab you in the name of them feeling they're in danger, then that violates your natural law to be free, to have liberty. It violates your Fourth Amendment to be secure in your person, houses, papers, and effects. That's what strips away your Fourth Amendment right of liberty. What is the Fourth Amendment? It's the right of the people. What does the Fourth Amendment say? It is the right of the people. You have a right. You have a God-given right. It is the right of the people to be secure in your person, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures. I didn't write the Fourth Amendment. Those are the motherfucking words. Those are the words. And if you don't know it, I'm sorry, but I just taught it to you. What is the Fourth Amendment? It is the right of the people to be secure in their person, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures. And no warrant shall be issued, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and specifically determining the place and person to be searched or seized. Exactly that. Is that Paladin in the room? Good to see you, Paladin. Yum Yum, Jeremy, Deanna, Archangel for Truth. So what does that mean exactly? That means that you should not be unreasonably searched or seized. So in 68, Terry versus Ohio, that makes it so cops can run up and grab you if they're scared. So that goes against my natural right. So I don't recognize Terry as being constitutional because it goes against John Locke's natural law. Now you're a constitutional law scholar. It only takes that much. You just got to study it and study it and study it and study it. And then, by the way, go and read some of Virgil Griffith's other opinions on the Supreme Court. Oh, don't block Chuck in Tennessee. I'm ready for Chuck in Tennessee to show us his videos. I mean, don't block any of these people. If they just disagree with me, please don't block them. Take them out of being blocked. I don't want them blocked if they disagree with me. Chuck, you're a dunce cap, brother. I'm sorry that you're dense. I'm literally laying out the foundation of America here, literally laying out what your natural rights are, and you're saying, you're so wrong. Well, then let's see your video, dunce cap. Let's see your video. The 1925 case of Carroll versus United States, based on alcohol prohibition out of when they drove down alcohol from Detroit. It says that cops can search your car if there's exigent circumstances. Where does God's law say there's exigent circumstances? Where does God's law say that you can be searched if the cops think maybe you're bad? Where is that? Where does that exist? Mr. Duncecap Chuck, where does that exist? Where does it exist? Where in natural law does it say that you have the right to be secure in your person, but as long as the cops aren't scared of you? Thank you. As long as the cops aren't afraid that maybe you're dangerous, then you can be free. Because I guarantee you the cops know that I'm dangerous. And so they're scared of me all the time. All the time. Scared of me all the time. So Carroll versus United States says that the cops can search your car because there's exigent circumstances. Where the fuck does that exist in our Constitution? Where the fuck does that exist in natural law? Where does it exist? Where is that? That cops can search your car if they think maybe you have illegal alcohol in there. Where is that in natural law? Where is it? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Larry. I'm sorry to hear that. I can't read a lot of comments. Oh man, that guy got blocked right away, huh? Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Hey, trolls, I don't want to block you guys, man. I don't want to block you. If you want to disagree with me or join the conversation, you're welcome to. But if you want to come in here and personally assault me or say stupid shit as your username, then we'll just kick you right out. I unblocked a bunch of people yesterday. I'll unblock some more today if I get time, but I'm busy. I'm busy. So if you trolls get blocked, I might not have time to unblock you for a week or two, maybe a month. I don't know. But this is what I'm going to be teaching over the next 4 months. 4 months for sure. I'm going to keep this studio for the next 4 months. For the next 4 months. How did Terry pass 8-1? Well, let me help you. Can you list the Supreme Court justices real quick? Can you list who they were? Go ahead. Someone just asked the question, how come Terry passed 8-1? Well, how did Terry pass 8-1? How did it pass 8-1? Can anybody tell me how Terry passed 8-1? I mean, just the basic. It starts with an R, has an A in it, and then an IST at the end. How did Terry pass 8-1? And why in the world? How did Terry pass 8-1? How did Terry pass 8-1? Who just? Since you're so sure, so there's 9 Supreme Court justices and 8 of them voted for it, including the black Supreme Court justice. That's right, racist. It's a racist holding. So, did the black guy vote for it? Who was the black guy in the Supreme Court that voted for Terry versus Ohio in 1969? Who was it? Anybody know that? Who was it? Who was it? Who was the only black guy in the Supreme Court, the first black man on the Supreme Court, who voted for Terry versus Ohio in 1968? Who was it? Exactly correct. Clarence Thomas. Thank you, KT. Clarence Thomas. So why did Clarence Thomas vote for... Let me tell you the setup. You guys want to know how Terry versus Ohio passed 8-1? Let me tell you guys, because I have several videos on this. If you guys have not seen Overturn Terry, if you have not, it's not Clarence Thomas, the very first Supreme Court justice who was black. It's not Clarence Thomas. Clarence Thomas is on the Supreme Court now. Thurgood Marshall. Thank you. That's the correct answer. Sorry about that. I'm driving and it wasn't Clarence Thomas. It was Thurgood Marshall. Okay. You're the dunce cap. You're here learning from me, calling me a dunce cap. Okay, got it. That's like people come to my comments and say, you're so beta. You're on my page in my comments calling me a beta. Okay, got it. So So Thurgood Marshall voted for Terry versus Ohio to be passed, that cops can run up and grab black guys. And that's what the whole case was about. So how'd that happen? Well, number one, it was Thurgood Marshall's first year in the court. And then what did they do? They had Lewis Stokes represent Terry, the very first black guy to do an argument in front of the Supreme Court. And he completely and utterly effed it up. Lewis Stokes couldn't have done a worse job in Terry versus Ohio. He couldn't have done a worse job. So you have Clarence Thomas, who's going to be a yes man for Earl Warren. You got Hugo Black, who's a lifetime member of the KKK. I mean, you go back and you read, and you really get into the nuts and bolts of it, and you start to realize that the Supreme Court personnel were racist as fuck. Sorry for the language. The people on the Supreme Court were racist. They were racist. Hugo Black was a lifetime member of the KKK and one of the lead inquisitors to Lewis Stokes during the Terry v. Ohio oral arguments. So Clarence Thomas was lucky to be there. He was lucky to be there, and he was going to do as he was told in the first year. Now, later he started dissenting when he realized his power on the Supreme Court wasn't going to be usurped just by his voting. But in the first year, he was a yes man all the way for Earl Warren. The same reason they put Hugo Black on the Supreme Court in 1937 was to make sure that you would have a yes man. The first person appointed to the Supreme Court by FDR was Hugo Black, a lifetime member of the KKK. So FDR was sending a message to the white supremacists of America: don't kill me. I'm going to fight for you to have white supremacy. Whether we like it or not, FDR goes down in history as the greatest president in history who had concentration camps in America, cheated on his wife, married his cousin. All these things about the truth are so hard to accept. But whether you like it or not, whether or not FDR defeated Hitler or not, he still put concentration camps in New York City. He still locked up 100,000 Japanese on the advice from Earl Warren, the Supreme Court Chief Justice who passed Terry versus Ohio in 1968. However, in 1941, he influenced FDR to create concentration camps. Earl Warren influenced FDR in 1941 to create concentration camps in America. I don't want that to be true, but it is. So I'm just giving you guys how you guys, the next channel I have coming out, if you want to be a constitutional law scholar, I'm going to teach you how to do it. And then all these dunce caps who say, Chille's not a constitutional law scholar, you're going to learn a bunch of stuff, and then you're going to go, I didn't know that before. Maybe I do know something about the Constitution now. I mean, if you have a beard, you'll be doing like this, but if you don't, then you won't. You'll be my smooth beard. Okay. 20 minutes till Wapner. What's up, Charlie Little Bear? What's up, Charlie Little Bear? What's the little bear doing? What's the little bear doing? He likes to ride on my lap and look out the window. So there it is. Now you guys understand exactly what I'm going to be doing over the next several months, because I'm going to lay out connections. And then what I'll do, I'm going to tie together elements and people and years, so that this is what creates the board game. Putting together elements, people, and years. And then I'm going to teach it in a long form format on a wall, so that if people buy my board game and they don't know the answers, they'll be able to turn on the video and be able to learn something. The answer, I'm getting a little ahead of myself here, but the point is that that's what I'll be teaching over the next few months, and that's what's going to take up a lot of my time. It's going to take up a lot of my time. So that's what we're doing. So yeah, give them a chance though, Archangel. Give them a chance. Give them a chance. There are some people coming over from the negative channels who are now watching and going, you know what? That's a good one. How We Became Slaves. That's a better name, isn't it? But I think Constitutional Law Scholar is a little better. And that's not the exact name, because I'm going to put it a little bit different, so then people can't go, oh, I got the name. That's not the final name. I'm just telling you the precursor. Almost like the Transparency app is not going to be called Transparency app. It's a placeholder. So, Cope Dog's in the hizzy. Cope Doggy. Cope Dog. Cope Doggy. Cope Dog's in the hizzy. Gloria, how you doing? The Tribe, Mary Smith. Good to see you, Mary Smith. Captain Happy. Well, I'm going to run... I want to stay focused on this particular live. So make sure, Christy Roan, make sure Christy knows I'm going to give her a call back when I get to a stationary location. I'm going to give Christy Roan a call, if everybody can let her know. I'm going to reach out to her either tonight or tomorrow morning, because we only have 3 days before that baby comes out. So if you guys click her Amazon wish list, and make sure if you pick her up a jumper, or you pick her up a crib or a walker, whatever you do, but she could use some support. There it is. Cope Doggy just put it in there. There's Christy Roan's Amazon wish list. So good to see you, Gloria. How are you, honey? Actually, Jake, I've never said that it's federal law. Chuck, wasn't Tech Lines versus Danforth decided by the Mississippi Supreme Court? I went off about this for about 30 minutes just now, Chuck. If you didn't hear what I said specifically about Virgil Griffith and him being the constitutional law scholar who wrote the holding, and you don't understand about the basis of natural law, then you're not going to understand anything, dude. You're going to have to go back and watch this video, my friend. The True Patriot is in here. What's going on, True Patriot? Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Yeah, it's Tesh. It's called Tesh Lines. Tesh Line Incorporated versus Danforth. And you know what? It'll soon become a federal law, because I'm willing to push it all the way. If they want to arrest me, then do it. But I'm not. You're not going to stop me from pulling over and filming cops, because they're dangerous thugs and they need to be held accountable. And you're not going to get the body cam footage if they kill you or kill your son or kill your daughter. You're not going to get it. Maybe for years, if you ever get it. The only way you get the body footage is someone else films from another angle, and then they have to release it. And let me ask you, where's that body cam footage from James Sheets? Where is it? There's Christy's Amazon wish list. I think she has a jumper on there. She got a couple things on there. I haven't even seen it. She just told me what she was going to put on there. So Christy Roan's Amazon wish list is in the I heat up, I can't come down. You got me spinning round and round. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. And by the way, for the people who are joining, because more subscribers are coming than ever before. Ever. I mean, well, no, that's not true. When Brian over there from Here's the Deal put out my original video of the Tempe stop, man, we gained 10,000 subs that month. So, but now we're growing at a rate of about 3,500. Make sure you guys share the videos and try to get more people to subscribe. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Take your finger right here just real fast and hit the like button. Hit the like button just real quick. Just real quick, hit the like button. No, I'm super passionate about history. I'm super passionate about people understanding their rights. I'm super passionate about it. And when I learned what my rights were after I was no-knock rated, I realized I never should have been no-knock rated. That's thank you, True Patriot. I appreciate that. He said the channel is growing because people want to support the mission of getting our rights back. That's right. I agree with that. We need to get back to a constitutional standard. 15 minutes till Wapner. 15 minutes till Wapner. 15 minutes till Wapner. And then I'll have to jump off this because I got to do a couple things here in this place in the middle of nowhere. Well, Green Mark, when you want to make videos and teach us the way, I'm ready to see it. My interpretation's flawed? Okay. That's why 300,000 people follow me on TikTok, and that's why 50,000 people follow me here, because I'm incorrect? Okay. I've been fact-checked by thousands and thousands of people, but I'm incorrect? Okay. Okay. That's fine. I get it. Everybody wants to have the stick in the sword fight. So you got your stick in the sword fight. You're just wrong. You're just wrong. I mean, I don't want to debate people anymore, because every time I destroy somebody in a debate, it just creates more haters. So I'm more than willing to have an open discussion with some people. Maybe I'll set up a StreamYard. What's going on, Rights On? What's going on, my brother? Yeah, he's wrong. I mean, so True Patriot said, hey, you're entitled to your opinion. I would disagree, though. Yeah, because you're wrong. No, but you're incorrect. I mean, there's correct data and there's incorrect data. My understanding of case law is not flawed. And Mississippi Supreme Court, the Virgil Griffith wrote the majority opinion, the unanimous opinion. It was all the justices, by the way. Mississippi Tesh Lines versus Danforth was a unanimous decision. So that means that every single justice on the Supreme Court of Mississippi believed that you have an inherent right to stop. Matter of fact, in the holding that Virgil Griffith writes in Tesh Lines versus Danforth, he writes that this case alone is absurd, that you can't stop when you travel. That, he said, I can't remember the exact quote, but I'll come close to it. He says, and then we go into the realm of absurdity, much like this case. Because if you don't have a right to stop, then you don't have a right to travel, then you don't have the liberty that's recognized by John Locke's natural law, that's recognized by the Constitution, that is a God-given right to be able to travel and be able to stop. So my understanding of case law is not flawed. Have you read it? Deanna, Chosen's in the room, huh? Good to see you, Chosen. Yeah, Andrew, that's a very good question. Is case law really law, or is it just an opinion? Well, let's take a look at a couple things here. Let's take a look at a couple cases. So let's take a look at the 1927 case of the United States versus Olmsted. So in the U.S. versus Olmsted case, what happens? You have Roy Olmsted, who is a lieutenant in the Seattle Police Department, and he's bootlegging liquor from Seattle up into Canada. So this is the 1927 case. Hey, someone who said I was wrong a second ago, why don't you teach us about the 1927 case of Olmsted? I love how people come in here and say, you're incorrect about this. Okay, you got the floor. Teach us what Olmsted said. You can't because you don't know it. I know it off the top of my head. So Olmsted versus United States in 1925, you have Roy Olmsted, who's bootlegging alcohol with 14 other cops from Seattle to Canada. And so what happens is good old Edgar J. Hoover, who's head of the FBI at this point, 1924 to 1973, 1974. I can't remember when the exact time when Edgar J. Hoover was removed he retired from being the head of the FBI. So what happens in the Roy Olmsted case, someone just, and I'm coming full circle here. Someone just asked me if it's constitutional or if it's just opinions by members of the Supreme Court or the Mississippi Supreme Court. So it is just opinions, and let me explain to you the reason why. In the Olmsted case, Edgar J. Hoover taps into the phone lines, and then he listens in and finds out Roy Olmsted is bootlegging alcohol. He set up an entire FBI factory right there in AT&T, or whatever the phone company was called back then. I think it was called Bell, actually. So he listens in on the phone calls of Roy Olmsted and says, oh, they are bootlegging alcohol. So then his case, he's arrested, he goes to jail, he applies for certiorari, which goes to the Supreme Court. It gets all the way up to the Supreme Court, and unfortunately for him, unfortunately for Roy Olmsted, which I don't mind if that little piggy burned in the prison for a little longer because he had ruined so many people's lives. So in that Olmsted case, even though the Supreme Court justices knew that Edgar J. Hoover had been tapping into the phone lines through Bell, the phone company, he said, one of the worst holdings in U.S. history is Olmsted versus United States, and it's going to be written by Howard Taft. Did you know that? Someone who said I'm incorrect about my data. Did you know who wrote the majority opinion in Olmsted off the top of your head? Did you know that? I'll bet you didn't. But the majority opinion was written by, who was it? Howard Taft. Howard Taft wrote the majority opinion, and he wrote in the majority opinion that if you break the law, constitutional rights be damned. We're going to put you in prison. That's what Olmsted, that's what Howard Taft wrote. Something to those lines. I mean, pretty close. And so then what happens? That's in 1927. Well, then you go 40 years in the future. One of the fastest cases in Supreme Court history that was overturned was Olmsted versus the United States. And that's going to be the 1967 case of Katz versus United States. Is it Katz versus United States? K-A-T-Z? Can anybody let me know if it's Katz versus the United States? Or was it Katz versus... I mean, some of these people who know so much. I mean, I would love to see, can you tell me which case that was? I can tell you what the case did. So in the 67 case of Katz, K-A-T-Z, what they did is they overruled the Olmsted case and said that you have a right to have your privacy on the phone. The Fourth Amendment, the right of the people to be secure in their person, houses, papers, and effects. Your phone is your effect. You have the right to have privacy on your phone. So the case is overturned in Katz versus United States. Thank you, Mary Smith. I appreciate that. That's one of the fastest cases in U.S. history that was overturned. So the answer is yes and no. Yes, the constitutionality of cases is just determined by opinion by 9 appointed men, mostly, who are mostly racist. And so I mean, you had even Rehnquist, who wrote a book in 2010 that the book was a Archibald Dunn form of history. William Rehnquist wrote a book that was completely based on racist history, a whitewashed version of history. I'm sorry, but it's true. So the Katz case, what it does is it says, no, Katz versus United States, a landmark decision where the court redefined what constitution of search and seizure regards to the Fourth Amendment. Scrubzilla, thank you. So Scrub just wrote it. So they are just opinions. However, here's the shitty part. They're just opinions, but the words that the Supreme Court justices write, majority or minority, are the constitutionality of law. You'll often hear people quote things that were from the minority opinion where the case was lost. So the opinions written by the Supreme Court personnel, I don't really call them justices, it is constitutional law, even if it goes against and is repugnant to the constitutional standards, which are natural law, the social contract, checks and balances. The three Enlightenment thinkers, Locke, Rousseau, Montesquieu. So that's what I'm talking about. So now, if I can just spit this off the top of my head, you sure I'm wrong? You sure? I don't understand case law? You sure? I'm just saying. It sounds like I know a couple things. It just sounds like it. I mean, I could be a great big dunce cap. Where am I a dunce cap? Court procedure. I'm the biggest dunce cap ever, and I've gotten my ass handed to me in court a few times because I don't understand the procedure very well. I didn't study it for 20 years like I did constitutional law. That's why I can just spit this stuff out the top of my head. So I'm in town now. It looks like I'm 9 minutes away from my destination. So just to keep my own peace here. It's a cute little town, though. It's a cute little town. Very cute. Very cute. Ooh, that's a nice looking little courthouse. That's the kind of building I have in mind right there. Ooh, is that boarded up? I don't think it is. So that's what I'm going to be teaching over the next several months is the constitutionality of law. So when you have a Terry versus Ohio holding that cops can run up and grab you in the name of officer safety, that's just racist tyranny. It's anti-constitutional. It's anti-natural law. You know, it's anti. So yeah, well, when you build your following, let me know. Let me know when people are listening to what you say. And then when I teach that you're allowed to your opinion, but you're wrong. So welcome to being wrong, bro. Tell you what, make your video about Olmsted, make your video about Katz, make your video about Terry, make your video and show how those laws are constitutional, how those opinions and holdings are constitutional. Write how I'm so wrong about my flawed perspective. Make your video, though. Make the video and show how I'm wrong about my perspective on constitutional law. I don't think that you can, but let's see if you do. Let's see. I look forward to what you create. I look forward to what you create. So, anywho, I've been on here for 80 minutes. Make sure that you guys have Christy Roan's. You can get them all. Mary Smith, you can get them on my poster. By the way, someone contacted me and said that they donated to Press with Rancor, and I will send you your ebook and your digital poster. I'm sorry I haven't done that yet. I'm going to do it today. Listen, Greg, no matter what I do, there's going to be some people who are going to disagree with me because it's popular. It's popular. It's popular to disagree with me, even if you don't know what you're talking about. So, you know, and if you want to, and by the way, you guys saw this. I actually did a debate one time. I did a debate with a bunch of people in February, and they had a PhD and they had a lawyer and they had some moron on there, and I just leveled all of them. But I don't want to level people anymore. I want to teach them. You know, I want to teach people. So over the next, yeah, if any of my moderators and all the moderators who are my friends, make sure you reach out to me on Signal. Make sure you reach out to me on Signal. I want to make sure. Yo, Scoutmaster Bob. Scoutmaster Bob. Good to see you, Scoutmaster Bob. Stay strong, Chille. Staying strong. I'm a little soft, guys. I'm a little soft. It's weird to see my muscles soft. It's really weird because I haven't been working out at all. Just been working hard on stuff. So, any which way. Any which way. I got to get out of here pretty quick here. I'm way out here in the boonies. I'm way away. I'm talking, I'm in the boonies. So, I look forward to starting this new channel here pretty quick. Pretty quick. Yo, anyway, KNRW Radio. Good to see you, KNRW. Hey, KNRW is putting out some videos now, you guys. You guys should check out his videos. KNRW, Storm Chaser Radio, Kearney, Nighthawk. Good to see you. Anyway, listen, I got to get the flock out of here because I'm 5 minutes from Wapner, and I got to get the flock out of here. I really appreciate you guys listening to me. I really appreciate you guys having this conversation. I'm not sure what that means, Terry. I just don't understand what you're saying. I don't get it. So, sorry, man. I don't understand what the coding is there. I have no idea. So I can't really understand what you're talking about, you know. Oh, that's right. Deborah Rogers has her trial coming up. Deborah, aren't you just a few days? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Deborah. I'm going to check in with you when I get off this phone. I'm going to check in with you when I get off the phone. Chevy, thanks for coming. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to get the flock out of here. Christy, make sure you drop that Amazon wish list in here. Someone email me that Amazon wish list. Oh, window stickers, Terry. That's a great idea. I still haven't done that yet. I will. I've just been busy, guys. I've been so busy. I'm trying to change the world here. So I'm super busy. The window stickers would make some money though, and I got to get some wheels on the car for sure. If it wasn't for a couple supporters, man, I really wouldn't be here right now. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't have this opportunity to teach you guys. I wouldn't have this opportunity at all if it wasn't for a few people who've been supporting me and helping me. Thank you. Thank you for helping me get here. I really appreciate it. So, all right. I'm going to get the flock out of here. Got nothing but love for you guys. See you guys on the next one. Later, Gators.